Hey guys, so today we're going to play some Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I've played a couple hours of this game already. It's really fun. It's definitely for anybody who's in the car stuff. It's a really fun title if you like to screw around with car stuff. There's a couple packs you can get. I downloaded the Mazda pack and the Dodge pack. Those are the only actual manufacturer-specific packs that I know of right now. All the other cars in the game really look like real cars, but they do have other names. So that's kind of interesting. You start off by just doing basic mechanic work, and then as you upgrade things from your skill tree, you can kind of progress through that and go from there. Actually, I'm just going to turn down the volume just a little bit, so hopefully you guys can hear me a little bit better. But anyways, yeah, actually I'm going to turn down just a little bit more. Hopefully that won't be too annoying to be so low, but I already recorded some of this before and you couldn't hear anything I was saying. So anyways, without any further ado, we're going to continue on, or start the game up. So as I said, Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is a PC, Xbox One, and PS4 game. You can play it on Steam, which is where I got it from. And yeah, so we're going to start a new game here. Yes, I would like to start over. And you start off just doing basic tasks. I'm going to take you through the garage, and you can have a look-see at everything inside. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy this as much as I do. Maybe learn some stuff about cars. You don't really need to know things about cars. If you do, it makes things easier, obviously, but, you know, just like any other simulation game, I guess. It's pretty in-depth for what it is. So, here's our little garage here. It's a one-bay garage. Looks like it's about maybe, I don't know, 1,800 square feet, which isn't too bad. So here we have a toolbox. In the toolbox, this is your skill tree, and from the skill tree, you get to go through everything and upgrade as you complete things. You get experience, and then you get skill points, and then you go through there just to upgrade. So you start off these first two guys here. They do your first level. They're one skill point, and then you just progress on. You can move on through other stuff. Right now we have no skill points, so we're gonna exit that. This here's the wheel balancer. The wheel balancer essentially is exactly what it says. When you put new tires on rims, you have to put them on this machine here to put weights on them so that they're balanced correctly, so when you're driving down the road you don't get violent shakes, that kind of stuff. Here's your tire changer. You take tires off of rims, put tires on rims. That's pretty much that. Here's just a tire rack. It does absolutely nothing other than look cool, I guess. Here's another toolbox in case you need to access that. There's a couple of these scattered around the whole garage. This is your spring puller. Essentially what it does is, so most suspension systems nowadays, you'll have a shock, and then inside of it you'll have a spring, and it's mounted with a top and a bottom plate. The shock and spring work together to dampen when you go over bumps. And this allows you to compress the spring down so you can pull the shock out of it and then slowly release the spring so you don't explode the spring out and shoot shit all over your garage. So that's very important. I've seen a lot of people do some ramshackle shit to get some springs off over my years. This is the lift or the hoist. You put your car on that, it goes up so you can work underneath it. This is your oil drain, so it's essentially just a drum on wheels with a funnel on the top or a catch basin. It drains into that, and then you have your oil collected. Nice. Another toolbox there. This is your engine stand. You take your engine out of the car and you are able to work on it easier. And here is your computer where you order parts. So, as I said, it's pretty basic right now. As you upgrade, your garage gets bigger. You can get paint boost, do body work, stuff like that, fully restore classic cars. It's actually a really fun thing to do. So anyways, so what we're going to do here is we are going to start with a order. We have a new order. We have an Edmund Lotz, which is pretty much an Audi A3/Volkswagen Golf looking thing. This person here, brake system needs fixing. It tells you what you need, so sure, we'll take that in. And then it just takes a second to load up exactly what we're doing, and there's the car right there. Nice little green Lotz. Sorry, it's very dry in my house. And the way I say house, you can assume I am from Canada. So there we go. So we're going to move this gentleman here to car lifter A, because that's all we have right now other than the parking spot by the front door. So once you right click on the car here, you can go to car status. Once again, brake system needs fixing. We need one brake disc ventilated, a brake pad, an ABS module, and another brake pad. So, well, brake pads, because there's one on the front and the back of the disc brake. So it looks like somewhere on the car there is a bad front disc brake. So the ventilated disc brakes on a four-disc brake vehicle usually are on the front of the vehicle. They're usually larger than the back because you're usually going forward when you brake versus, doesn't matter. Anyways, so that's usually the front of the vehicle where you have slotted or cross-drilled or any of that kind of stuff. Brake pads, so those are brake discs. So those are on the front of the vehicle. We need a brake pad, and we need an ABS module. Depending on how you talk to, ABS module is assisted braking system, automated braking system, whatever. Essentially, if you hit the brakes, it helps you by hitting the brakes for you. So you're not just like slamming on your brakes and sliding all over the damn place. So we need to get a ventilated disc brake and brake disc and 2 brake pads. So we're going to go over here to the computer, and we're going to go, these are your places you go to get rims. These are Volktree E37s, which are gorgeous looking rims. They're not available in the game, but they're on the front cover. I was very upset because I was like, I'm going to put those on all my cars. But no, not available. So anyways, we're going to go here, and we are going to search for ventilated. How you spell ventilated? Yes, it is. We're going to need one of these gentlemen. Boom, ordered up, and then we're going to need some brake pads. Order 2 of these guys up. And I don't remember exactly what we needed. ABS something. ABS module, not a pump. ABS module for $700. Alrighty. So the ABS module is located on the engine, and it is right. Okay, so here's a good way to tell. Usually things that are very rusted looking, like as you can see here, that's a bad part, and you need to remove that. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. Sometimes you have to be underneath the car, sometimes you have to be above the car, that kind of stuff. But right now you just have to, you can access it from the engine bay, which is a bonus. So default will be take the part off. If you right click like this, you can choose to part mount or part dismount. But we're at part dismounting, so you essentially just click and hold, and it gives you a bunch of options here. Well, not options, a bunch of screws that you have to take out. In this case, they're actually bolts, not screws. I always do it in an opposite pattern, taking them off and putting them on. I don't think it really matters in the game. In real life, though, however, it kind of does when you're putting things back on, especially wheels. So we're going to part our new ABS module. So you can see the old one here has 3%, which kind of blows. And then we have our new one here, which is 100%. You don't have to click this. If you click that one, it'll install that one. You click this one, it'll install the 100% one. If you have a whole bunch of different things available, you just want to make sure you have the right one selected, then click that there. And then once again, you just tighten it down. As I said, in real life, you do want to kind of tighten down on opposite ends. That way it evenly attaches things in place, especially if you're torquing things down. That's very important. But in this game, I don't think it matters. So once again, that seems to be done there. So now we need to put this guy on the hoist here. You do that by clicking that, you lift it up just a little bit, you click it again, and lift it up even higher. We need to figure out exactly where the problems are on this car. So there's our new thing there. We need to see exactly, so we need a ventilated disc brake. So we're actually going to raise her up just a little bit more so we're not crouching down to look at everything. It does make it a little bit better. It kind of sucks that you can't put it at like eye height. It's all either way over your head or underneath your head. So we're just going to take off this wheel here. And we'll look see what we got here. It looks like the brake pad isn't great, but it's not horrible. Okay, so that brake pad was 71%. Does not look like we need to. I'm going to take that off too, just to inspect it. So up here in the corner, it'll tell you what it is. So it's a ventilated brake pad, 75%. That seems good enough that we don't actually need to take that off. So we're just going to quickly pop all these guys back on here, just to make sure that, and that one there is 70%. That should be totally fine for a while. And then we have a caliper, which is 70%, and a caliper cylinder, which was more than that. I didn't actually pay attention to what it was. So it's not this wheel here that seems to be the problem. So we will put these rim and tire set back on. And so it's not that guy there. So we're going to go over to the other side of the car and see if we can figure out where we need to replace these things here. So one good thing is that later on in the game, as you progress, taking things off. Now you can see here how rotted this thing is. So that's obviously the ventilated rotor that needs to be replaced. So brake caliper was fine. The brake caliper cylinder was fine. Brake pads, 22%. So obviously the brake pad and brake disc, these are the two guys we need to replace. So we are going to replace that with our nice one here, 100%. And then we're going to replace this with our new brake pad that we just purchased. And then we have our caliper here, which is in good shape. Pop that guy back on there. 1 and 2, and then we'll drop the rim on here. But yeah, you see how I'm putting it in back on in this kind of star pattern. It just evenly torques everything all down. Alright, so what do we still need to do here? We have one more brake pad we need to find, and that's the last thing we need to do on this vehicle. So let's see if it's this one here. So taking it off, it doesn't matter what order you really do it in. Just make sure you don't scratch the rim with your impact gun, essentially. Alright, so brake caliper, brake pads are fine, and that brake pad was horrible. So we're going to put on our new fancy smanchy brake pad that we just got in. Put on our new caliper here. Or, not our new, but our caliper that we had before. And then we're going to put our rim on. And in theory, once we get these 5 last bolts in place, we should be done. So, oops. Let's run over here and bring the car back down to... Actually, you don't even have to do that. You can just go like this. So car status, 1, 2, 3, 4, all things done. It cost us $880. We're getting $220 bonus, job bonus $220, and we get $1,320, which coincidentally is the amount of feet in a quarter mile, which is what you do when you race. So, boom. First job done. Not too bad. Made a little bit of money. We made $440 more than we started with. So we're doing all right. Don't worry, things get a lot more in-depth. This is kind of just the first little thing. So let's see what we got for another order here. We have another Emden Lots. A year and a half ago, I bought my son this car. He said that he's not interested in anything except for filling it up at the gas station. Please check the oil and the tires. Alrighty, well, let's take that order and we'll see what we can do with that. So we have this beautiful champagne-looking Audi A3 type of car. Move this guy here over to the car lift. So we need to check the tires and we need to, what was it? Check the tires and something else. Change the oil, so we'll do that quickly first. Pop the hood, even though we don't have to do that right now. Actually, you know what? Always pay attention to how tall your ceiling is before you put a car on the hoist with the hood up. I've seen some interesting results from that over the years. Anyways, we need to go over here to our oil barrel here and move it over here and click this gentleman here and use it to drain some of the oil out. There was not much oil in that at all, so we're going to put that back quickly. Alright, we're going to drop the car back down. Once we get a chance to, we're going to click this here. Alright, so essentially what you do is you hold down the button here. Eventually, after a minute, it's kind of going to tilt. And once it does that, you hold a couple seconds more and let go. And that's usually about how much oil you need to put into this thing. You always check the dipstick just to make sure. Looks like I use a little bit more oil, but you know what? That's fine. No one's going to complain with being 90% full. Alright, so oil's already done. Close the hood. We're done with that. So now we need to put some new tires. And you can see the sidewall on these bastards are super shitty. So we're going to take these all off. And then we're going to pop the rims off the tires there and show you how all the machines and such work for that. Boom, 2 off, so we're going to run over here and get the passenger side, or the driver's side rear. Grab this guy here. 3, 4, 5. Whew. I have a fly flying around me right now. Must very much enjoy this game. Alright, so 3 more to go. As you can see up here, oh, actually it doesn't show you on that. But anyways, so we're going to come over here to the tire changer and we're going to separate some parts. So you can see here are 4 sets of rims, the 4, I guess, whatever, rims and tire combinations that we have here. So we have 255 R16. 205. 205 is the width of the tire, so 205, and then 55 is the width of the sidewall, and then R is the rating of the tire, so you have rating depending on what kind of tire it is, and then you have 16, which is the amount of inches the rim is. So essentially, the more 55, so if you have 75 or 85 or whatever, the wider it is around the rims. The rims here, 55 is that much, 85 is that much, so it kind of just gets bigger. And then 205 is the width of the actual rubber itself. So we need to separate some of these things here, so we're going to quickly do that. And this is kind of a little bit of a tedious process because you have to wait for every one of these animations, but you know what, it kind of just adds to the you know, the whole realistic atmosphere of the game, which is kind of cool. I'm sure this gets played a lot more in the wintertime, because if anyone out there is like me, I absolutely despise working on vehicles in the winter. You know, minus 20 degrees outside, and you look down and you got a cut all over your hand, you're bleeding all over the place, but you can't tell because your hands are so damn cold. You know, just wrapping your knuckles against everything, and everything takes forever because all the parts are all cold, so they contract more and harder to get bolts off, and it's just a big pain in your bum. Alright, so that's taken care of like that. We need to go buy some tires, guys. I almost forgot. Let's go get some tires. I'm pretty sure yeah. So I can just hit sell junk, and look at this. Boom, all that crap that was like super low condition is gone. So we made a couple dollars just by selling their garbage. I don't know who the hell would have bought that. So let's go back to home here, and we will go to the tire shop, and we need standard tire B. And what was it? 205, 55, R16. So width is 205, profile is 55, and size is 16. We need 4 of these gentlemen. It's going to cost us 872 bones. We're going to hop back over here. And we're going to fly back down to the tire mounting machine. Boom. And we will install that with that. Yes, I do want to do that. And if you do it this way, it saves you a little bit of time, which is kind of nice. So once we get this guy off of here, so remove that, we'll start one more. That with that, say yes, and then we'll quickly pop over to here, and we will balance the one that we had already started. Or sorry, we had already done. It's not perfectly fast, but you know what? It's definitely a heck of a lot faster than just waiting for each machine to be done. This one should be done in 1 second here. Done. Nope, never mind. Still going. Alright, we'll do this while we're waiting for that one there. So we have one done on here. So these little icons there tell you it needs to be balanced, so make sure we do that. And take this guy off of here. And I'm pretty sure we can't do anything. So there's no more items to work with. It's kind of nice how it tells you when there's nothing else that you can do. So you're not screwing around wasting time wondering what's happening. Alright, so we'll take that off of there, and we have 2 more that we're going to do. Yes, I would like to balance that one. Music in this game is pretty good too, you know. Sorry I have it a little bit quiet, but, you know, I want to make sure that I can explain what's happening as it does happen. So last but not least, we have this set here to do. And once that is done, then we get to put everything on the car, and we are good to go. Alrighty, take that from there, and start that there. Go to part mount mode. Boom, take that. So as I said, you kind of want to make sure you do these in opposites. So you see here, I'll go from this one to this one here, to across from that. In the game, I'm pretty sure it does not matter at all, but as I said, in real life, if you're going to, let's say you get a flat tire on the side of the road, by doing it like that, you put equal pressure on the lug nuts and the studs and stuff like that, so that you're not putting more stress on one section than the other, and that way especially with a spare tire, which most people don't carry torque wrenches with them. Kind of evens everything all out, so if you're driving and hit a pothole or whatever, you're not putting super stress on one thing just because you installed the rim assembly or the spare tire unevenly. That's the best way I can put that. It makes sense. There's a real reason behind it. I'm not just saying gobbledygook. Alrighty, so let's see what we got here. Car status. Did that. All those. Oh, I need to change the air filter and the fuel filter still. Forgot about doing that, so we will bring the car down. While we're doing that, we will order an air filter and a fuel filter. Whoops, knocking things down. Filter. Air filter. Done. And we need a fuel filter. Done. Perfect. Pop the hood. We have the air intake here. We want to take off these clips. 2, 3, 4. Pop that guy off. Take this horrible piece of shit out of there. Go to part mount mode. Install the new filter. That's the one we want to install there. Put the cover back on. Oops. I did have it right. I don't know what I was thinking there for a second. We're going to install these little clips. These clips are a pain in my butt. You forget to do one of them and then it won't let you drive the car away, so you got to make sure that you're doing them. It makes sense though, you know, you want to make sure that the car is put back together correctly. It's a lot easier in real life because you have all the parts sitting in front of you, you know. Okay, so fuel filter, as you can see, that's pretty rotted looking there. Take that old guy off. Part unmount mode. Boom. Part mount mode. And fuel filter, the new guy. Boom, and we are done. Right click, car status. All done there, all done there. We're gonna make $1,671. So we're at $5,235. We started with $4,000. So that's actually not too bad at all. So yeah, if you guys enjoy this, I will make maybe a couple more of this. Hell, I might just make some because I really enjoy this game. It's really fun. It's around $30 Canadian with the 2 DLC packs if you want to grab this on Steam. I have no idea how much it is on PS4 or Xbox One, but it's definitely worth picking up if you're into this kind of stuff. Anyways, guys, I hope you thoroughly enjoyed this. I definitely did, and thanks for watching.